Welcome to the Best of the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration attorney, and we're happy to welcome you. And we want to say thank you to everyone who supports us on all our platforms, especially those who write to us on social media, follow us, and share their immigration stories with us. We're grateful to the community that we have built together and it has inspired us to create this podcast. We hope you enjoy it. Michael's here. Hello, Michael.
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
Great. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. All right. I have a doozy question for you.
All right.
So this is from my friend, and he is a self-petitioned EB1 A. He was a primary and wife was derivative.
Okay.
So the derivative's approval date or the residence date is, they both have approved green cards. When the green cards was mailed, the derivative's residence date is earlier than the primary. I did some research and looks like that's a bad thing.
Yeah, it is.
Considering what's going to happen with the new president.
Yeah.
Are they going to reopen its case, or since this is a self-petition, they're just like wondering what to do?
So I had this exact scenario happen for a nice, I think she's from China, Chinese lady in Chicago. And we sued them to make them clean it all up because that was going to be a mess when they applied for citizenship. So we can do that for your friend if they want, because what my concern is that they wait the 5 years, apply for citizenship, and then they say, oh, these green cards, yours in particular, these green cards are defective and we gave you residency by mistake and now you got to do it all over.
How does this even, it's really hard to understand. Like, how can this screw up such?
Well, I'll just say this is the second time this exact scenario. I mean, the other one was, I think, an NIW, but same problem where the beneficiaries got the approved. And in fact, in that case, Michael, the beneficiaries got approved and the U.S. citizen, or not the U.S. citizen, the principal applicant did not.
Wow.
Right. So is it a gap by like days or weeks or what is it?
I think it's few days.
Yeah. Is this person, I see the Wash U thing on your thing. Is this person in St. Louis?
Yeah.
I might be able to fix it for them without having to file a full lawsuit. I know some people. If you want to have them reach out to me, I could try the non-lawsuit route. It would save them some money.
Okay. I have a second question. This is for the same people, for their parents.
Okay.
They traveled to US back in 2020, and that's when COVID hit. They were scheduled to go within 4 months. They were on B1 and B2, but since everything was shut down, they had to extend their stay. They did file everything by the book in terms of extension and such. However, their biometrics never came. They left the country within 7 months of their stay, and their biometric came after 8 months. So the biometric came like a month after they left. What happens to them? Like, what happens to their status?
So are you saying that they overstayed by 1 month or they overstayed by 7 months?
They overstayed by 1 month. Yeah. So their exit time was for 6 months.
Okay. And do they have a multiple entry visa or a single entry visa?
Multiple entry.
And have they tried to come back since then?
They haven't. It's been 4 years now. They haven't. They want to come back.
Yeah, I think they should be okay. I would bring proof that they tried to come back. I would bring proof that they filed for the extension. I would bring proof that they left. I think I'd be basically ready to argue and try to prove up their good intentions. 1 month shouldn't get anybody too worked up. Now, they might have a trouble the next time they try to renew their visa. But, you know, what I was telling everybody in 2020, both those outside the United States and those in, is assume that you're going to have to document later your efforts to leave. So if they try to buy other plane tickets to leave or whatever, and then I would say also, if that extra month that they stayed was like when things are really hot, like April, May, June of 2020, then I would say that's going to help them. their arguments. But basically, I don't think this is going to be an issue because they already have their visas.
Okay. They would be traveling from St. Louis. So it's the St. Louis CBP, DHS.
That's where they'll do customs, or they'll do customs somewhere before they get here.
In St. Louis. So they're
Oh.
gonna, the port of entry would be St. Louis.
Oh.
I'm familiar with Chicago, but I don't know how St. Louis CBP is like 2 days a week. I don't know how on par they are in terms of rules and stuff.
Oh no, yeah, they come out for flights and stuff. There's people at the airport, 24/7 whenever there's international flights coming. It's just that's where, in my experience, the St. Louis CBP office is pretty chill, so I think this should be okay.
Awesome, thank you, Jim. Happy holidays,
Michael. Yep, see you, buddy. You too. There we go. Guest is here. Hello, guest.
Oh, hi, Jim. I have a couple questions about DACA advanced parole.
Okay.
So a relative of mine is getting ready to leave. So the first question had to do with just some clarification about the dates stated on the document. It says that the document authorizes a single departure between December 18th and January 27th. So we just wanted some clarification about that. Means you leave once and return once in between those 2 dates. Is that correct?
And of course, we're going to return before January 20th.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's what that means.
Okay. And then the other thing was more general. So in your experience, if you had any advice, any tips, any suggestions about, for example, what documents to bring, what to expect upon returning to the U.S., any best practices that you have to offer?
Well, first of all, let me say that DACA advanced parole is like one of my favorite all-time things, right? Like I just think it's so great the way that it can make life so much easier for people who have a way to, upon return, adjust their status. I just think it's the smartest thing that came out of the Obama administration when it comes to immigration, and it was all thought up by a wonderful immigration law professor here in St. Louis called Steve Legomsky, and he worked in the Obama administration. So I'm a big fan of DACA advanced parole. Now, one of the things that we've been talking about in the office is we were about ready. Somebody hired us for an DACA advanced parole, and they came as a minor. They were a little kid, and we were getting the paperwork all together. And they casually mentioned that when they were a little kid, their mom and dad had been in deportation. And in fact, when we dug a little deeper, we found out that this kid had actually been ordered deported. So we were getting ready to do DACA advanced parole, but this kid had a deportation order. So we canceled it. We said, you can't go, right? Because you would execute the deportation order, and we were way too nervous about leaving. So the first thing I would say, guest, is that I would dig deep and make sure that the person has never been in removal, and more specifically, does not have a deportation order. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Then, as far as on the trip back, I would say whatever the stated purpose was of the visit, i.e., going to see the sick abuela back home, that we bring back proof that we want to see abuela. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So document whatever it is. I think it's a very light level of scrutiny. Knock on wood, I haven't heard of many problems of people coming back on DACA AP. Robert is in the comments, and he's talking about his inspection. He said, be ready for the secondary inspection because there will be that, and just be courteous and truthful, and it'll be fine. Don't be overly nervous. That's been my experience too, that everybody I've talked to after they come back on advanced parole, everybody sort of knows what's going on. So it should go fine. The important thing actually is to get the advanced parole. Once you get it, it's sort of like, hopefully, fingers crossed, no deportation order. It's pretty much a done deal. Does that make sense?
It does. Okay, I understand. So if it's okay with you, Jim, just a couple other questions came up. So when returning to the U.S., would it make any difference which port of entry? So which airport? Does it make any difference?
I would just say my general aversion to Miami, but other than that, no, I don't think so. Almost
Okay.
almost everybody we've dealt with has gone through Houston or Dallas, but no, I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. And then just the last thing. So upon getting that stamp, how soon after would someone be able to file an adjustment of status?
The next day.
The next day.
The next day. Again, all before January 20th.
Okay, gotcha. Well, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Oh, good luck. Good luck.
Thanks
Let
for
us
your
know
help.
how it goes.
Thank
Yep.
you, sir. Have a great day.
Bye, guys. See you, buddy.
Thank you.
Good
Tim.
morning.
Hi, Tim.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Hi, good morning. It's great to see you, Jim.
Thank you, Tim.
I have I'm a U.S. citizen, and I filed K-1 visa for my spouse. She came to U.S. in November last year, and we got married in January.
Great.
Then after which I filed petition for her I-130 just by following the YouTube videos, and I-485. I-485 was accepted by USCIS, but I-130 was rejected because one page was missing, and
That's not why it was rejected. It was rejected because you don't need it.
uh-huh.
If your fiance comes on a K-1, you don't have to file an I-130. You only file the 485.
Yes, I didn't know that until like 10 days ago.
Okay.
So what happened is that USAS sent a letter which states that I have to refile I-130 and I-485, which I just followed and refiled in June. So also in that letter, the USCIS asked me to provide additional sponsor, a joint sponsor, which we did, and only the IRS tax transcripts were submitted. So we got a denial letter for the first I-485. So in November 20th, which was dated November 20th. So only at that time I realized we had two pending cases of I-485.
Yeah.
So I got very worried. I was very worried, and I started looking around in the internet. What's the problem? What's the solution? Um, and I had to do something about it. And I found a community lawyer, and community lawyers said you have to file a motion to reopen. And she helped us to write a brief, and we filed a motion to reopen within 30 days. Now at this moment we don't know what's the outcome, what steps we should take. Maybe USCIS, what we don't know what USCIS is going to do, what USCIS thinks, and you can't really get any guidance from USCIS whether we did right or wrong. So they won't say claiming that stating that they can't give us a legal consultation. So at this moment, I don't know if what else we should do. maybe I should withdraw I-130 or not. Um, we did attach W-2s, which USCIS said it was not attached. That's why we deny your case. On the basis of public, what is it called? Public charge.
Right.
So, what do you think we should do in this situation? Even though they should be able to approve the case based on the provided supporting documents and everything was okay, except like we we filed I-130, which we did not have to, and we did not attach copies of W-2s of the joint sponsor.
So I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
Are you and your wife stressed out about this?
Of course we are.
When did your wife come to the United States on her K-1?
Last year, November last year.
And when did you get married?
In January, which was within 90 days.
So you've wasted a whole year messing around with this, and you said everything was fine. Everything's not fine. You have completely messed this up. You've made you've made it 10 times more complicated than you needed to. And as we sit here now, nothing that you have filed is the right thing yet. Nothing is right. Okay. So if you filed an I-130 with a 485, then you would have checked a box on the 485 indicating why your wife was eligible for adjustment, and that box would be wrong.
Well,
so everything that's been filed is wrong.
Well, that box was checked where it says based on an K-1 fiance visa.
But you also attached you also filed it with an I-130.
Yes, because I just followed the YouTube video by mistake.
Don't blame it on YouTube videos. It's not YouTube video's fault. There's no YouTube video that you can point to, that it's certainly not any of mine, that says that you file an I-130 with a 485 when your spouse comes on a K-1. So just to be clear, everything that you filed, every filing fee that you have paid, let's figure out how much you've paid in filing fees. So $535 plus $1,225 for the old one, so that's $1,700, and then the new ones that you filed, that'd be another $2,000. So far you've wasted $3,500 plus the appeal. So the filing fee on that is like $800. So now we're at $4,300. Yes. You've wasted almost $5,000.
Yes, almost 5.
A year of your wife's life, and now you're going to have to start all over and explain to them. Like right now, they have all these competing applications. They don't know what you want them to do. You've confused them and tied them up in knots. All the while, your wife is sitting here out of status with Big Orange Cheeto coming into office in 23 days.
We did file motion to reopen.
You file a motion to reopen when USCIS makes a mistake. What mistake did USCIS make that justifies you filing the motion to reopen? No mistake. They made no mistake. You made the mistake. You need to withdraw everything that's on file right now, and you need to file a 485 for your wife. That's what you need to do.
Well, there is 485 open pending, which was filed in June based on the instructions of USCIS. USCIS, I think, confused me by saying you have to refile both forms.
It's because they didn't know what you were trying to do. You confused them. They didn't confuse you. They owe you no obligation to explain a thing to you. There's no rule that says they have to explain anything to you. Now, what in the hell is a community lawyer?
Community lawyer, they provide a service for low-income people, legal services for low-income people. She actually is a lawyer, but they don't charge a fee for that.
But why did she tell you to file a motion to reopen when what you should have done is filed a new 485? That was wrong. So again, I'm telling you, if you want to know what you need to do, and you don't want to hire a lawyer now that you've already spent $4,500,
yes,
you need to withdraw everything that's pending. And you need to wait until you get withdrawal notices of everything that's pending. And what you then need to do is file a new 485, pay a new filing fee with a cover letter explaining all the bad decisions that you've made, and ask them to accept this properly filed 485. And you need to do all that yesterday.
Well, motion to reopen.
Waste of time.
Waste of time.
Waste of time. Motion to reopen. Waste of time. Just going to drag shit out for. You never should have filed another motion to reopen. You never should have filed a motion to reopen. You should have stopped and said, "Oh, geez, there was a mistake made here. Whose was it? Mine or theirs? Oh, it was mine. Oh, well, maybe I should talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about and not a community lawyer."
But they do have the I-485, which is pending, and everything in it says, well, based on the last uploads, I uploaded the approval of K1 visa there, and I uploaded the W2s, everything. So they have a full package to consider and approve it, because they can still, when I talk to USCIS told me that, okay, that shouldn't be problem.
Tim, I muted you. You're not listening. You're not listening. You're not listening. Do you want to listen now?
Yes.
I'm telling you what you need to do. I don't know why you're fighting me. I don't know why you're being so stubborn. I don't know why you expect. You have to spoon feed things to USCIS. You have to make it drop dead simple for them. You've made it imminently more complicated than it ever needed to be.
I see.
This is all on you. 100% on you. It's nobody else's fault. It's not USCIS's fault. You have filed the wrong forms. I'm going to let you go, Tim.
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck, brother.
Thank you.
Let's go to Maria Grazia. Maria Grazia, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How you doing?
Good, thank you, sir. I tried to explain. I had the interview for marriage green card with my husband. I am the citizen on the 24th of September, and the agent says you are approved. In 30 days, we'll send you the card. And after when we went out of the office, the lawyer called us and said, "No, you're not approved. It's written. They have to, how do you say, they are looking." And so something went wrong. And so she thinks because I naturalized the August 22 with my ex-husband, and he wanted the divorce. He asked for divorce at the beginning of September. So she said that, on her opinion, it's because I divorced too quickly after the naturalization. And it was not for me. My husband didn't. I mean, I could not expect that he was going to ask me for divorce. I would have waited and make a naturalization with the 5 years. So at that time, I was just thinking not to get out of my depression. I didn't know the law, and I couldn't force my husband. I didn't even know. I mean, to stay married with me when he didn't want any more. And do you think this is the problem why we are still pending?
So, when did you first come to the United States?
I was coming every year from 1982, but only for with my father. That now he died, for vacation, and to stay here with my daughter 1 month a year, because here I was safe with my daughter because I had the first marriage, a very big drama. And then in 2016, I changed with the B1, B2. I make an E2 visa, investor visa. I open an ice cream shop. And after, I met my husband. And but there was here, after we had Hurricane Irma destroy my shop. So,
okay, hold on. Sorry. I just want to get the timeline on the marriage. So what was the U.S. citizen that you married who sponsored you for a green card? I'm going to call him Frank, okay? So when did you and Frank get married?
We got married 2018, April.
And then Frank filed for a I-130 for you, and you filed for a 485 based off that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We got approved January 2019.
Conditional green card?
Yes, 2 years, yes.
And then, so in 2021, you filed the 751?
Yes.
Did that get approved?
No, I was called in April. I did together 1751 with the naturalization interview together.
And so you applied for naturalization on the 3-year rule?
Yes.
And on the day you went to that interview, had your husband already filed for divorce or no?
No. We were both in a very good moment. We were both coming, grandparents. We were the marriage was wonderful. Only the end.
And so they approved your 751 and they approved you for naturalization, right?
Yes, and I made the oath in July 22. Yeah.
July of 22. Okay. And then when did your husband file for divorce?
The 1st of September of 2022. He asked me that I don't have to fight, or he was going to tell my daughter a very big secret that I don't want her. She knows it. And so I said, okay, I'm going to do whatever you want. Just leave my daughter in peace because she's pregnant. She's going to have abortion,
Yeah. Okay. So you got your citizenship in July of 22, and 2 months later, he says, I want a divorce, and he's blackmailing you into agreeing to the divorce.
Yes.
And then now you've married somebody else, I assume.
Yes, in April.
Okay, I'm going to call him David, okay?
Yes.
Okay. So what's David's story? Was David in the was David somebody you knew while you were still married to Frank?
Yeah, I knew him. He was a friend of mine for many years, like 20 years. He was a policeman in his country.
Okay. All right. So then how does he come to the United States?
My business partner, he was a policeman too, and he's his best friend. He was coming with, like every year to visit him because my business partner, when we were policemen together, saved his life. And I know him from the city because, unfortunately, in the city, they knew what happened to my daughter.
Okay. So again, how did he enter the United States though? What kind of
It's a B1, B2.
Okay, when did he enter and when did you get married?
He entered January, and but
January.
he was here. I'm sorry, he was here in September, October 2022 when I divorced. He was with my friend, and because he just retired from policeman, and then he starts to help me, and then he came back to his country because he doesn't want to overstay. He's very brainwash policeman, he makes everything in the right way. And I was feeling very depressed, and he was feeling to help me, and he was loving me. And so he came immediately back when he could. It was January. And we stayed together.
January 23. And then when did you get married?
April 23.
So you got married. Well, when was the divorce final with your husband? Did it get done in September of
October? October.
So a quick divorce.
October 22. Yeah.
So if USCIS were to check the records of when the divorce was filed and finalized and when the new husband was in the United States, they would see that those were both at the same time.
Yes. Yes, okay. It was here with my business partner. Yes.
Okay, so then you filed an I-130 and a 485 for him, and then you had an interview. Where was your interview?
In Miami. They asked me request of evidence, a new certificate of divorce of my first husband in Italy. I provided, but I give him again, and they asked some questions to my husband because he was a policeman, and he answered one wrong. So they want to clarify because he said he had military training, which it was not. It was training because it was weapons training, and he says yes. He didn't have military training, only the gun Beretta that they use. They use the policeman, and then at the interview, they asked him why he didn't do the military, and he said because in Italy, when you are policeman, you start at 18, you don't have to make a military service. They asked him if he ever killed someone. He said all the truth. I never killed anyone. I was, thank God, in investigations all my life.
Yeah. At that interview, did they separate you?
No. He just said, I approve your 130 and 485. And then only one time he said, I need to go and talk with my supervisor. And we didn't talk to each other. He came back. And and he asked me when was my naturalization. I gave him the paper because I didn't remember the exact date.
Did the subject of your divorce come up at all during your interview with your new husband for his green card?
I said I was depressed, which was true.
So, did they grill you on the timeline, or like I did, where they asked you about was your new husband in the United States when you got divorced?
No, he didn't ask me that.
And what about this question?
Yes.
If USCIS came and knocked on the door of your old husband,
yes,
what would he say about you and about your marriage?
The problem after how we ended, he doesn't know. I mean, about my marriage with him. Of course, I mean, I think he would say the truth, which was good, and I don't know why it ended in this treatment. This I don't know. But I don't think he will ever say to USCIS that he treated me with this what he did, because it's really very, very bad.
Yeah. But okay, all right. So I think what you said. I think what you said at the beginning of the call was. Was at first the officer said he was going to approve the I-130 and the 45, but then as you were leaving, he changed his mind and said, no, I've got to look at some more things.
No, he didn't say that. He let us say he approved everything. The lawyer said, he didn't approve you, he didn't send you, because they have to look deeper, because you divorced quickly after the naturalization. That's what says the lawyer. And my husband said, listen, I think you should try to find somebody else more professional, because we made a meeting before married. I'm here to help you, not to create you more problem. I could stay with, and it was better I don't come here, I'm here to help you.
So as we sit here right now, the I-130 has not been approved. Nothing's been.
No, he said, but I asked the lawyer, he said they lie sometimes. And the lawyer said, usually they don't lie.
I wouldn't say lie. They just sort of say they think they're going to approve it, and then they don't. I think that's true. I think that your case probably needs some work. It probably needs, if I were your lawyer, I'd be trying to get a statement from your old husband about the divorce. Just, it could be very high level. Just, hey, yeah, we were married. Yeah, it was real. No, I don't think she married me for a green card. Yeah, I'm the one that asked for the divorce. We got a quick divorce. It didn't have anything to do with her becoming a citizen or not. It's just the way that things happened. This was a real marriage, and she's a good person, and get a green card. I would get that and send it to the field office in Miami. And I would try to nail down the story between you and in other words, I would write down all the things that we want to say that didn't really come up in your interview about why you got divorced, about the marriage and all that other stuff, and send that all to them and say, hey, you need to approve this new 485.
Would you do that before waiting for the result?
No, I wouldn't.
No.
I would push.
I mean, you would send this letter before they make a decision?
Yes, and I would want to get your ex-husband's statement nailed down before they go talk to him. Yep.
Okay, and is it possible to change the lawyer?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, just
and
send me
I have email. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
info@immigrationlaw.com.
I have only one big problem. It's this drama, because he treated me with that. I'm scared. My daughter is still pregnant. I'm only scared. I can go and talk with him. Our marriage was really very good. I don't know what happened in the end.
You wouldn't talk. We would talk to him. You wouldn't have to talk to him.
Yeah, but how I do? If he does this, my life is over. I mean, because if my daughters find out what happened to her at 3 years old, I lied to her. It's a secret of family. I just told him because I thought he was the love of my life, and he said, why? Your daughter come here. We're fighting with the money, and you book an hotel. You must tell me the truth. Why you don't want that she sleeps where we sleep? So I was feeling so guilty that I broke the secret, and I made the mistakes, but I was never thinking he would use this to break the marriage, that it was nothing wrong on the marriage. Everything was good. I mean, I don't know what happened. Because I have that trauma, even if they call me for another interview, I can talk with you like this, but if they ask me what happened to my daughter, just already I see blood in all the walls, and I got panic attack. I didn't sleep anymore from that day. I know I made this mistake to tell him, because it was a secret of me, my mom, the doctor. So I don't know if I go to him. I'm just scared of that. I'm not scared of anything, even in life. Only that comes out is.
Okay. Well, you might have to decide what you want to do, but I'm going to wish you luck. Okay. Thanks, Maria. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Macman, are you there? You're on mute. There you go.
Yes, Jim, how are you?
I'm great. How are you
doing? All right?
Yep.
Thank you. Let's imagine situation though. David married to Lena, and they filed I-751. Dave is waiting for the approval of I-751.
Yeah.
And he basically register his car in different state than they are living together with Lena.
That was dumb.
He just did it because of basically cheaper insurance.
Dumb.
Not a good idea.
Fraud. You're telling
No,
one government. You're telling one
other
government.
than
You're telling one government agency. David's telling one government agency he lives in state A. He's telling a different government agency he lives in state B. Saving money on car insurance is a hell of a lot less important than getting a 10-year green card.
got it. So basically, other than that, they doing together, like they have joint bank account, joint.
That's just the kind of thing. I mean, how much money are we talking about David saving? How much? Tell me.
Like around difference is around $180 per month.
So he's going to put his 10-year green card at risk to save $180.
Yeah, I agree with you. Not worth it.
Definitely not worth it.
All right. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it.
You got it, buddy. Well, there you have it. Another edition of the Best of the Immigration Answers Show. Again, my name is Jim Hacking. I'm an immigration attorney practicing law throughout the United States, out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. If you want to get a hold of us at the firm, you can email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com, or you can call us at 314-961-8200. You also can join our free Facebook group. It's called Immigrant Home. We'd love to have you join us there. There's thousands of immigrants talking about the immigration process in there every single day. We also have our YouTube channel where you can subscribe to see all of our videos and to get alerted whenever we go live, whenever we're going to record another episode of the Immigration Answer Show. Maybe you could be a guest and ask us a question. Finally, if you're not following us on TikTok, we suggest you do at Immigration Hacking. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.